Happy New Year. Welcome to a new episode of the Big Picture Business Podcast.
Yay! First of all, if you're not watching this, you should be because Rory's looking pretty cool right now. I love those glasses. They're fabulous. Bend down a little. What does it say on your hat there? What do you got? Nice. He
Happy
seriously
New
has
Year.
a Happy New Year's hat on. I'm pretty envious. Just saying. But Happy New Year's week, everybody. Listen, 2020 has been weird. We know this, and we are headed into a brand new year. And so when we were thinking about what we wanted to talk about for this week's episode, we thought, no brainer. We are going to talk all about how to start an online business, how you can start making money right away in the new year, 2021. All right. We're going to be talking about things that maybe you've never really thought about before, even if you already have your own online business. Rory, why don't you tell the good people what topics we're going to cover?
We're going to talk about how to make money doing what you love, how to get started with no website, how to set yourself up from the very beginning to earn passive income. And we're also going to step by step walk through some of the affiliate marketing opportunities that are out there. What we're going to look at is we're going to look at something that you can monetize right away, but we're also going to look at like this. We're looking at legitimate businesses. We're not talking about like, oh, you can make $100 a day, clicking links online or reading blog posts or things like that. Like a lot of that stuff is just scams. It doesn't actually work out. These companies are taking advantage of people. On occasion, some of them are legit, but the majority aren't. And a lot of people, because it's kind of clickbaity stuff, they'll make these videos on YouTube and be like, you can make $100 a day, and here's how you do it. And they show some like really ridiculous thing. And when you look at it, you're spending all day working just to make $100 a day, maybe, if they actually pay you. What we're looking at sharing with you are some ways that you can actually earn income and build a legitimate business. And we're going to look at it from a few different angles so that you have some ideas and opportunities of things that you can do.
Right. So the first thing that I think is so important is you have to identify what you actually love to do, and then to see, could I monetize it? Can I actually make money from that? Maybe you love doing website design. Maybe you love making DIY videos or showing people how to do certain crafts. Maybe you really enjoy leaving reviews. There's so many different ways to turn what you really enjoy doing. Like, think about your free time. There's so many different ways that you can make money online immediately, truly just out of doing what you love to do. So first up, you got to find your niche. And you have to identify what type of business you actually want to go into. Maybe you're really into being a virtual assistant. Maybe you like writing. You want to be a blogger. Are you a consultant? Do you know how to do something really well that you feel like you could do some consulting on?
Are you going to be the front person? Are you going to be a support person? There's a
Yeah.
lot of businesses that need help. They're doing well, but they just need manpower really behind it. Man, woman power, right? And that aspect is a huge opportunity for you, because there's a lot of businesses where they're like, I just need someone to help me manage my emails or manage my calendar or, send emails off to people, and sometimes that's a virtual assistant, and sometimes it's a contract job where you're doing that for people. Sometimes they need content written for their website. They're too busy because they're the front person of their business and they're interacting with the public day in and day out. They're on calls all day long, closing deals. They need people to create the content that brings in those leads for them.
Right.
So if you have some type of specialty, you're a great writer, or you know how to do some graphic design, you really enjoy social media. I mean, there's a lot of companies that need someone, to run their social media. So there's opportunities there to be a support person. If you're going to be the front person, like Dominica and I are, and you're building out things like podcasts, it takes time to do that, to become that. So, we usually recommend, say, how can you support another business to get going? And either as an agency or a freelancer in some type of work, so that you can get income coming in right away. And then if you want to become the front person, step into that and
Mhm.
and then start developing your own content and your own brand and your own systems of how you do things based on the success that you've been able to help other people create.
Exactly. You'll gain so much knowledge just out of approaching it in that way. So I think that's really valuable. And then once you've gotten to that point where maybe you do want to step into the role of being the front person, then it's time to really do some market research and see if what you want to personally do is viable. We have to check for viability. So when I say research, you're looking at your competitors, direct competition. You're looking at other similar niche market brands. There's so much that goes into that process. So make sure that you do not skip that step. It's very, very important.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most simple ways that you can tell if a product or a service is going to be viable is are there people looking for it?
Hmm.
You can go on Quora, you can go on what's that website?
Reddit,
Answer
answer.com.
Answer the Public. You can look up, what are people asking? What are they saying they need help with? You can go in Facebook groups, different groups that are related to maybe the topic of the business that you're wanting to start, and just look at it and say, okay, well, what are they asking? Where are they needing help? Where are they getting stuck? If they're getting stuck somewhere and I have a solution for it, well, maybe I can reach out to them and
Mhm,
help them.
mhm,
I see this a lot where, like, I'll give you an example. So say there's a Facebook group and it's all about, people writing a book. Well, I could go in there and I could say, I could look and maybe I'll find like 10 or 20 people who are just struggling to get their book cover done. I could reach out to them and I could say, you know what, I know how to design book covers. I saw that, you're looking for someone, you're kind of struggling with this. I have a few ideas for you.
mhm.
Here's a mock-up of an idea that might help you. And if you'd like me to finish it and you'd like to hire me to create this and work with you on it, then I'd be happy to do that. Right. So like sometimes you have to put in a little bit of legwork to make this work, but remember, you're building a business. You
Right.
don't just wake up one day and then you have a flood of people wanting to work with you. You have to start building relationships. You have to build connections with people. I mean, that's really one of the biggest things that I could say is that the relationships you build is what's going to allow your business to get off the ground,
Mm, absolutely.
especially if you're doing it with very little to no advertising or
Or capital.
investment in the beginning. Like,
Yeah. Mhm,
you have to build those relationships, and and there's different levels. So like, people who might be stuck, they're in a Facebook group, you might be able to drum up some business that way right away. For people who are really well established and you're wanting to level up and work with them, what you're going to do is you may actually do a project with them for free to show them the value that you can offer them. And usually this is once you've already established yourself a little bit so that you know that what you're offering them is something that would be really valuable to them.
definitely.
And you may spend you know, months building that relationship before you ever actually work with them or even ask them to work with them.
Mhm, mhm.
So there's different levels to what you're doing. But the thing to keep in mind is you can get started right away. There's tons of people who are just starting their businesses who get stuck in places. And if you have a solution that can help them move forward in their business,
Mhm.
a lot of times, they're willing to pay to get that help and to get that expertise that they don't have because they want to focus on what they're good at.
Right. I'm glad that you're talking about Facebook groups because a really powerful tool that I've been using a lot recently is if you're involved in a Facebook group, let's say like a woman's leadership network group, let's say, and you are a website designer and you really are looking for some new clients, there is a very handy little eyeglass tool that you can click on in any group and you can search keywords. So you can just search like, website design, for example, and you can see, has anyone recently typed that in a comment? Because some of these groups have millions of people in them, right? So it's hard to keep track every day of, who's doing what or commenting about. So that's a really convenient tool. So if you have a service that you really want to offer, maybe you're a photographer, and someone's looking for engagement session photos, then you can type that into the keywords and find exactly what a potential client could be. Now, another thing that I want to mention too is we know Facebook is so powerful. Be thinking that when you're getting started, it's important that what you have as your Facebook profile photo, your cover image, the most recent posts that are available to the public are something that's representative of you. Like it's, it is professional. It's not you taking shots with your cousins, so like be aware of those things. If you are actually reaching out to people on Facebook or social media in general, the number one thing they're going to do is they're going to look at your pictures. They're going to say, well, what is this person all about? Do I even want to be associated? So be very mindful of that. And if you have, pictures like that, fine, that's fine. Make them private. Just don't make them public. So yeah, just quick pro tip there. Protect yourself before you even go there.
Yeah, and social media is a great opportunity because you can set up profiles
Mhm.
on all
Specifically.
these accounts, and it doesn't
Yep.
cost you anything to at least get them set up. And so that gives you the opportunity to tap into the people who are in on those platforms and say you're looking through and you see someone makes a post on some influencer's page, and it's like, you know, let me know your big business struggles, right? And
Mhm.
then you see all these people who are like, oh, I'm struggling with this and this and this and this. Well, you could DM them, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
just be like, I actually know how to help you with that. I'd love to, chat with you for a few minutes, see if I could help you get past that. Maybe, provide a solution for you.
Mhm.
A lot of people are open to that if it is really something that they're struggling with and they need a solution right away.
Correct. Something that's so important to remember is if you do have a website or you have a link tree or you've got something that does have like your brand and product information or service information on it, don't just go spamming your link everywhere. We hate that. I receive hundreds of those messages a day, and there could be something so quality in there, but guess what? I'm not going to take the time to go through that because it doesn't allow to have that personal connection aspect. So take the time to make a message. If you are going to send a link to something like a calendar, take the time to be personal about it first. Like, hey, we're part of the same group. I saw you needed help or you needed some photography, headshots, whatever it is. Here's how I can help you. If it's of interest, let's chat. You can leave it at that. Don't even put the link right away. And then they might come back and say, hey, yeah, maybe at some point. And you can say, awesome. Well, if that's something you want to do in the future, here's a, link to my calendar. I really look forward to working with you. But don't just be like, here's a link because it's not
Yeah.
going to work. It's just not.
Well, I see this on LinkedIn all the time. Like people
Ugh.
will connect with you and then they'll have some auto message that sends
Mm,
out and it's like, 3 pages long and it's like I can help you do this and I do this and this and this and
mm,
sign up on my calendar to book a chat, right? It's
yeah,
like it's way too intense, it's way too aggressive. If you're
yeah, no,
gonna build a relationship with someone, you don't offer marriage right off the bat on the first
right,
date, right?
right.
So you gotta date your prospects a little
A
bit,
little
right?
bit, yeah, yeah, and
you know,
do your research, yeah, and
yeah, and just spend a little time just getting to know them. Like ask them, like send a message, just ask a question.
yeah,
You know,
that's
hey, and look at their profile and figure out something about them. Hey, I saw you really like Gibson guitars. I play guitar as well. What's your favorite model?
mhm, mhm. Start that familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to find a way to connect for sure. So, social media in general, fantastic way to build your brand. We talked about that in the previous episode, which is all about how to build your personal brand. So, if you haven't checked out that episode, highly recommend you do that because this will absolutely help launch your brand online once you have that basic information and understanding. But social media is a great way to help build your brand for free. Like Rory said, all these platforms are free. It's incredible. Just utilize it to your advantage, keep it consistent.
Let's talk about, like how to take your business online and some of the other free opportunities out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so, we've talked about utilizing social media, but what we haven't talked about is some other websites that are out there and some broader ways that you can utilize products and services. A
Hmm.
lot of what we do and a lot of our clientele that we work with, they create products and services that are very geared toward online, but there's a lot of things you could even also do online, but you still have to take it online to do your marketing.
Right.
So an example is, let's say you know how to clean gutters really well. You could create a small business around that.
Good money in that. For
Yeah.
sure. There really is. Yeah.
Right. So what do you do? Well, you could post on Craigslist that you are, looking to help people with it. And there's lots of people who search on Craigslist and places like Craigslist, Angie's List, and like Nextdoor and TaskRabbit,
Mhm.
where they're looking for people just to help them with some of the everyday stuff. Especially, like, think about this. Think of how many people who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s who just can't climb ladders anymore. They're too scared to, because
Yeah.
if they fall, it's going to be a really a bad situation for them, and they want to hire someone to do that. Well, you could build a whole business around that. And then what you do is, like, you look at, we'll get into some passive income stuff of how you can really turn that into a sustainable business for
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah.
But we'll get that into that in a minute. Some of the other things I wanted to look at is, like, if you are doing stuff like that is website design, or
Mhm.
maybe you're an audio engineer, you know how to edit audiobooks, or edit, maybe you know how to edit videos really well.
Mhm.
Maybe that's your skill. Whatever the thing is, graphic design or
Digital
whatever.
product or service. Yeah.
Yeah, digital product or service. I mean, there's places like Upwork where you
Mhm.
could create a profile. Doesn't cost anything to set it up. They take a little bit of a cut, but it's worth it because you're getting business. So,
Fiverr
excuse me.
is another one.
Fiverr is another one. I mean, you can even do that with Craigslist as well.
Mhm.
And if you have products that you sell, maybe you're really good at building like craft things, or maybe you build desks, right? You could put them on Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, right? There's
Amazon
there's
even.
all these opportunities. If you know how to sell stuff on Amazon, you could do Amazon Marketplace, right?
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. Amazon takes a pretty big cut when you're just getting started. So
Yeah.
it makes sense to not sell onesie twosies on Amazon, but if you have plans for mass manufacturing of a certain product, then Amazon can be very lucrative. It really can be. So there's many different ways and different platforms you can sign up for online today, like right now. But listen to this episode first. So right after you listen to this episode, you can go ahead and you can sign up for these things. But be aware that yes, the cost of running business online, like the overhead to do this, these platforms will take a specific cut from what you're doing. So price your services appropriately so that you're actually getting what you need, knowing going into it what the cut's going to be on the other end of it. So that's important to keep note of. Let's get into a little bit about how to get started with no website at all. And this is a question that I know I receive a lot with people who are just getting started, where they don't know how to start a website, what the steps are to start a website.
The thing to remember is that you don't actually need a website to get started. A lot of what we just shared with you, with like doing stuff on Craigslist and Fiverr and Upwork, most of the people who are providing services, they don't actually have websites. They're using that as their website. I've hired people for work off of Craigslist and TaskRabbit and stuff, help with moving, help with yard work, trim trees, things like that. They don't have websites.
Mhm.
The majority of them, I'd say like 80-90% don't. If you look at Craigslist, what they'll do is they'll put up some images of some reviews that they've received in
Mhm.
the images, or they'll put them in the text in the post that they're making,
Right. Right.
right? And that just gives you like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. They're not going to come over and like scam me, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Or rob my house. Right? So the more things that you can do to prove that you are trustworthy and credible, the better it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
And one of the keys is that if you provide a service and you do a good job, you're going to get repeat business, especially if it's something that needs repeating. Whether it's hauling trash away, if you have a pickup truck and you're like, I need to make money. Well, you could haul people's trash away. You could take that stuff, you could sort through it, you could repurpose it, you could
Mhm.
resell some of it, you could take it to the dump for people. Like, there's all these other things that you could do and charge people for that they need help with, so they're just not willing to do.
Something really quick before I forget, because I'm a branding nerd, okay? If you have been mulling over a certain name or a brand idea, it doesn't cost very much money to sign up for a domain name. You do not have to have a website built immediately at all. But if you intend on continuing on with a specific name or a brand idea for yourself, please go by the domain name or make sure it's available, because the last thing you want to do is to get, let's say a year or two into something and you realize, oh my gosh, that this name is actually already taken. What do you do? So look at that ahead of time and secure it for yourself so that you know that if you wanted to build a website, you could, right? So make
Yeah,
that small
exactly.
investment for yourself.
And that's the key is you can buy the domain name without and not have a website. Like,
Mhm.
so for example, when I launched my book business, I had the domain name
Mhm.
for my name, and I didn't have the website up at that time. And in 4 months, I was able to, without a website, build a six-figure business. So you don't have to have a website. Okay. Just remember that you don't have to have a website. It's not a prerequisite. More and more now, people are going to look you up online, and we talk about that in other episodes of, where, when you're looking to really, present yourself well online, but you don't have to do it in the very beginning. You can, especially in certain instances, if you're not trying to be the front person, then
Mhm.
then you don't necessarily need a website to start with.
Yeah. And I think that so many people have a challenging time getting over that hurdle where it's like the perfectionism thing, right? I'm a total perfectionist when it comes to my work. And if things like aren't perfect, I definitely have like ooh, let me just one more tweak, one more this, one more that. But I've had to learn just to let it go and just to put it out into the world and see what happens, or else nothing would ever get done. So don't let something like not having a website get in your way of starting a new online business right now, because you totally can.
I just want you to think about this. Okay, so we've had people in our music come up to us and be like, I was thinking of killing myself for like months
Yeah.
before I heard your music. And your music, I heard your music and it gave me hope and it changed my life. We've had people who've come up to us with our businesses,
Hmm.
and they've said, you're the information that you've provided, that you've shared, has helped me create six-figure business, seven-figure businesses, right? Think about even just like the simplest thing, like you're you're providing a service. Like, let's go back to cleaning gutters.
Such a great business. Seriously, if you have like the physical agility to do that, oh, I would totally be out there cleaning gutters. They make money.
But I want you to think about this, okay? Because what if you just kept putting off starting that business when you could have prevented, someone who's in their 70s from falling off a ladder and breaking their hip,
Yeah,
right?
you're solving a
Y-
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
or a potential problem.
When you've been doing this a while, you start to realize the things that you do and the things you put out into this world, you can be precious about them and never share them.
Mhm.
But think of all, like, I think back, if like we never released our music, like, and like someone killed themselves because we didn't release our music, like, and we found that out somehow, like that would be horrible, right?
For those of you that don't know, Rory and I, we do music together. Our band is called Forever Yours. You can find us on iTunes. But the first EP and the first album really was dedicated to suicide prevention awareness. We started a whole movement called the You Are Enough movement, which is pretty powerful. And we through that through our music, we've been able to connect with some incredible people, yes, who have shared their story. And so if you're wondering like where did this this is out of left field, where did this come from? Yeah, we're very blessed to have had these experiences and met these people and to have touched lives in a way that's been very important. So yes, like Rory is saying, it doesn't have to be music, right? It doesn't have to be something like that at all. It could literally be, cleaning someone's gutter to help them prevent whatever, negative scenario, right? There's so many different ways that we can touch lives and reach out to people and be helpful. And it all goes back to solving a problem.
And just putting it out there, and that's why I was saying, it's like, if you spend 6 months trying to figure out how to put your business together, I mean, that's 6 months worth of people you could be helping,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So,
Not only other people, but yourself, and putting money
yeah,
back into your
yourself
pocket
too,
and
right?
helping your
Yeah,
family and learning and growing. Yeah. So don't let these small things hold you back. Yeah.
yeah.
So let's talk about how to set yourself up from the beginning to earn some passive income. And in my experience, the most wealthy people I have met in my life so far never put all their eggs in one basket, so to speak. They have so many different business ideas and different ventures, and they're super diversified as far as what they do. I'm not saying go out and do that right away, but it is important to be thinking bigger picture of like, how can I diversify what I really enjoy doing and look at it at a few different angles and see how we can possibly monetize it. And one of the things that has been so good for my business is making sure that I know my reoccurring income. So as a business owner, I mean, sometimes things are like month to month, literally, where I don't know what I'm going to get a month from now because a new client could pop up, right? Like I got my baseline covered, bills are covered, things like that, and I have my clients that I've locked in for a certain, a month, 6 months, a year. Like I know ahead of time what I'm going to be getting from those reoccurring services that I'm providing. However, I do a lot of website design, and I'm not designing websites, every single month, a new website for the same client. So I had to think of different ways. Well, how can I make sure that the customer acquisition is reoccurring for me? So I started offering like search engine optimization services and making sure that the websites are all updated regularly every month. So that's a whole other thing. So it's these smaller services that are keeping the customer, like I end up having these customers for life. They stay with me for life because I'm doing their updates for them and the edits and adding pictures and things like that. So it's great to be thinking ahead of time. How can I turn this customer into reoccurring income and not just a one-off service?
And you can do this in so many different businesses, right? So think about this. Dominica's talking about like a service-based, online option of doing something. But we'll go back to gutter cleaning. Okay. Well, you may not be coming out every month because most people don't need gutter cleaning every month, but they might need it quarterly or 2 times a year or once a year. And if you have some type of package deal or a discount that you offer for scheduling it in advance, that's recurring income. Now,
Hmm.
yes, you have to still go out and do the work, but you know that money's coming in,
Hmm.
right? It's booked in advance. I mean, you could, if you own a carpet cleaning company, well, what do you do? Well, you say, let's get you on a schedule every 6 months for me to come out and clean your carpets.
Hmm.
And you get a 25% discount or whatever.
Right. It's guaranteeing that 6 months down the road, happy customer, everyone's happy with the result. You get the money, it's already in the books. It's great. It's a great way to
Yeah.
schedule things out for yourself too, so that you know what to expect.
Yeah. And then the other side of it is, diversifying is, okay, well, now you've built up this gutter cleaning business, or we'll stick with that.
I love it.
Okay, well, you've got that business going, it's going well, and you've created a system of how to get clients. Well, what else could you do? Could you bring on more people and, pay them a little less than what you make so that you make a profit off of the work that they're doing? Could you expand into maybe gardening services? Maybe you can provide other types of treatments that go well with gutter cleaning, such as moss removal, pressure washing. Like, you start looking at these ways. How do you diversify? But you could even take it to another level and you could say, well, I'm going around to all these homes that need gutters, well, or need gutter cleaning. Some of them are going to need new gutters,
Hey, hey,
right?
I
What
got
what could you
installation.
what could you provide there? You could also take it even to another level and say, well, you know, I've got this extra money now. Where can I invest it? Maybe in real
Hmm.
estate because I know what to look for,
Hmm.
right? It's like it can go on and on. It's like you can grow your business and start to diversify what you're doing
Hmm.
to higher and higher levels, like just like we've done with different aspects of our businesses, from
Mhm.
going from social media management to website design to in my case built starting with books and then building out the funnels and doing SEO and all that type of stuff. So let's also now look at, okay, because we've done some offline stuff that we've brought online, and we've talked about different ways of starting online businesses, but what about ways to, when you don't have a product and you don't have a service, how do you make money right away?
Well, drum roll, please, because this is pretty exciting stuff. Let's talk about affiliate marketing. But first of all, we have to establish what the heck is it. So, affiliate marketing is the process in which an affiliate, meaning you, Rory, myself, has the ability to earn a commission for marketing somebody else's product or service. And it's a great way to make money immediately if you like a product, brand, or service. There's so many different affiliate programs out there. You'd be so surprised. You could go to any of your favorite products or brands online, scroll all the way down to their website, the very bottom, and it will likely say, sign up for affiliate here or become an affiliate today. There's so many affiliate programs.
Or they're part of an affiliate network, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what's great about affiliate marketing is that you don't have to create a product, you don't have to create a service. Someone's already done that, and they're saying, just send me some customers
Mhm.
and I'll give you a portion of that sale. And sometimes it's 10%, sometimes it's 50%, sometimes it's 100% of certain sales, just so that they can get more clients in the door. Like, they're just looking to get for you to bring the people in, and that can be driving traffic to their website. It could also be a more personal relationship where, say you know some people who need someone to run their social media ads, right? And a person who does that, and you make that introduction, and then you get a commission for making that introduction. All right, so how do you get started marketing other people's products and services? And what it comes down to is building relationships. If you're going to go and do more of the one-on-one type of situation where you're making a referral to someone. But like we talked about, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of companies out there who have affiliate programs that you can sign up for. Like Dominica was saying, scroll to the bottom of their page and you'll find a link. And if you can drive some traffic to their website, maybe you make blog posts, and at the end of the blog post that talks about the product, there's a link with that affiliate link. Maybe you make a YouTube video talking about the product, maybe doing a review of the product
Mhm.
and or service, right?
Yep.
And or software. We haven't really talked too much about software, but software is a huge one, especially online.
Mhm.
All these, software companies are looking for more customers, and they pay pretty well.
They do, yeah, and one of the ways that y'all listening can support us is on our website. We actually have our own affiliate links to all the best products and services that we use, and you guys can get that like right now. It's all this incredible software, but those are all affiliate links. And now, when we say affiliate links, I know that when I say that with my clients, are like, "What does that mean?" It's literally a link, or it'll be like, www. whatever the product or brand name is slash series of numbers and letters, and it's unique to you, so it's being tracked for every time somebody clicks on it, purchases something through it. All of that goes right back to you because it's being done through your unique ID, and that is what an affiliate link actually means. Sorry, Rory, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's affiliate networks so that you can tap into that have tons of products, and you sign up with those companies, and they give you a link, and then you can go through and click the products that you want to promote. So let's say it's product X. Well, you click that, and they'll give you a custom link for that product that you can then go and promote. And one of the best ways, make some YouTube videos, just whatever you need to do to get it out there, to share it with people, get it in front of people, post it on social media, you
Your
know.
email list,
Yeah, if you
send
have
it.
an email list, you can do that.
Something that I want to mention though, if you are on an affiliate network, which can be something like Clickbank is a great network that both Rory and I have used before. Share a Sale is great. Even Amazon Associates. If you didn't know this, Amazon has their own affiliate program. You can advertise your favorite products through your blog posts, wherever you like to put your content. A-Win is another one. But something that is so important, you guys, if you see a product where you're looking at it and you go, wow, their commission is like $200 a sale, make sure you actually like the product. You have to like the product. Make sure it's right for your target demographic. Make sure that it makes sense to what you're trying to accomplish with your business, with your personal brand, right? Because if all of a sudden I go and I sell, let's just say I found a tire company. If I'm selling tires to like my marketing clients, they'd be like, what are you talking about? There's no connection there, right? Make sure that you actually go through the affiliate product itself before you decide to sell it. Okay. It's very important. Clickbank is probably my favorite one that I really enjoy looking at just to see what products are selling well. They have their own marketplace that you can log into, make your own account, and you can promote many different products through Clickbank itself and keep really good track of all of that. So I think that's a great place to start if you're just, wanting to get started and sort of figure out the ins and outs of what affiliate marketing truly is. And there's a product for everyone. And these products are typically all digital. So it's not like you're going to have to go, all of a sudden learn how to do drop shipping or anything like that. Like it's all digital and you're hands off. You're just promoting the link. So it's a great way to make some additional income and to learn how this process works so that when you go back to doing your business growth, then you have a clear understanding of how to do affiliate marketing for your target demographic.
Yes.
I'm very passionate about affiliate marketing. I enjoy it a lot.
We both have utilized it really effectively. Like me more so like on the services side and partnering up with people and saying, hey, I'm going to send, some of my clients your way because I don't do those services or my business doesn't do those services but they need that help.
Yeah.
And they're asking me because I've built the relationship and they ask and they say, I need this done. And I go, oh, I know someone. Right.
Yeah. It's a great tool to help grow your business. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's lots of opportunities there. So, we encourage you to explore it more. We could probably do a whole episode on affiliate marketing, but we're giving you a general overview so that you can just kind of, realize the opportunity, get started with it. But we hope that the information we've shared in this episode is helpful, helps you get started with an online business, helps you get some income coming in, because we know a lot of people have been struggling a lot lately. We know going into the new year that there's a lot of uncertainty of what things are going to look like. So utilize the information that we're giving you and implement it in some way so that you can meet your needs and build a business off of what you want to be doing, what you love, what you know how to do, what you're an expert at, or even just something that you do in your everyday life that you could do to help someone else.
Yeah, well said. And with that, everyone, Happy New Year! Woohoo! Yay! 2021. Bye, 2020. Hey there. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to ring that notification bell to receive a new episode every Tuesday. See you next week.